Hello. ¿Qué dices? Welcome back to my channel. Hi. You want to come say hi? Okay, listen, right by your ear. Right there. I asked her to hand me the book and she's standing by it. She couldn't find it.
And like and subscribe before the video.
Like and subscribe.
Please. Give us a chance.
Give us a chance. Say hi. Hi. Say hi.
Look at this. This is really cute. I know the line's bad, but you can still kind of see it. See, look how cute it is.
It's a cool shape.
Yeah. What kind of shape is that?
I don't know. It's interesting because it goes like flat on the bottom. It's cool. Anyway, green and gold. Very cute. And then there's this one that is set with little real dried flowers inside it. It's almost sepia looking, old fashioned. I don't know. I think it's cute.
And look at this. I know the line's bad.
Are they tangled up?
Yeah, they kind of are.
There we go.
Okay, so.
Moon and stars.
Yeah.
See those glassy looking kind of pink and purple. Moon and stars. Very cool. And then the one last thing I'm going to show off tonight is my bracelet. Look at this. Look how cute this is. So it's super sparkly. You can see. What are you doing?
Just showing them what's on your phone.
No. Did you show my passcode?
No.
Oh, okay. So it has to me it looks like little wheat sheaths in the side. Isn't that cute? Dried, but yeah, it's grass. It's a kind of a decorative grass. Anyway, I dried it and didn't know if it'd be cute, but I love it in this. That is just really, really. That's cute bracelet. Anyway, showing off a few of my things. And then before we get started, what did you have for dinner? I love to hear ideas and know what people are doing.
Or what you're going to have for dinner.
We had spaghetti and garlic bread and steamed spinach. And then
dinner if you haven't yet.
Don't talk while I'm talking, sis, because then they can't hear me. It's National Pie Day, so I was going to make pie, but I'm sick. I have a bad cold, and I don't have like a frozen pie crust, so I would have had to make pie crust. I was going to make apple pie, and I did not have the energy, so I made apple crisp, which isn't pie. So we didn't really honor National Pie Day like I intended to. But anyway, we love pie, so I was going to do some yummy pie, but didn't work out. Okay. If you're gonna play Roblox, you better go do it while you have the chance. Because when I'm done here, I'm taking my phone back. She gets the phone every once in a while, and she's just so happy about it. Okay. So Evelina, I think we're on chapter 18, and we'll do a little recap. He just always has to push everything with his feet. You're a pumpkin. Yeah, you love it, don't you? So, thanks for the love. She's so nice. Evelina went to, for heaven's sake, I'm having a total brain. She went to see her grandmother, and she was introduced to the Brinkmans, her grandmother's nephew and his 3 children. And she wasn't real impressed with them, and she's kind of hoping she doesn't have to see very much of them because they're kind of the brothers and sisters fight constantly, and they're quite rude and nosy, and just she's not too thrilled with him. Oh, you little pumpkin. What'd you do?
Ball.
A ball. There's a tennis ball. He says, ball, and he kicks it. Where did it go? It went so far. Go find it. Where did it go? Did you lose it? Okay. Chapter 18. Or letter 18. Letters. Okay. Evelina in continuation. I had just finished my letter to you this morning when a violent rapping at the door made me run downstairs, and who should I see in the drawing room but Lord Orville. He was quite alone, for the family had not assembled to breakfast. He inquired first of mine, then of the health of Mrs. and Miss Mervyn, with a degree of concern that rather surprised me. Where was I? Till he said that he had just been informed of the accident we had met with at Ranelagh. He expressed his sorrow upon the occasion with the utmost politeness, and lamented that he had not been so fortunate as to hear of it in time to offer his services. But I think, he added, Sir Clement Willoughby had the honour of assisting you? He was with Captain Mervyn, my lord. I had heard of his being of your party. I hope that flighty man has not been telling Lord Orville he only assisted me. However, he did not pursue the subject, but said, this accident, though extremely unfortunate, will not, I hope, be the means of frightening you from gracing Ranelagh with your presence in future. He's like closing the book. He wants to see the cover. Nice. Oh, you're going to read it? Our time, my lord, for London is almost expired already. Indeed.
Just so that you know, I can't read.
You're learning, though. Every day you're getting better. I was so sick today that we got a little behind in school, and we were doing it this evening. What? Are you then so particularly partial to the country? We merely came to town, my lord, to meet Captain Mervyn. And does... Here, baby. He's trying to turn the page for me. He's such a helper. You're a helper. And does Miss Anville feel no concern at the idea of the many mourners her absence will occasion? Oh, my lord, I'm sure you don't think. I stopped there, for indeed I hardly knew what I was going to say. My foolish embarrassment, I suppose, was the cause of what followed, for he came to me and took my hand, saying, I do think. Oh. He knows how to turn on light switches, and that's the coolest thing. Want to turn it off? Woo! Okay, turn it back on. He's so pleased with himself. You already did. All done. Good job. Good job. He just wants to keep turning it off and on. Oh, now I lost turned the page, but I had said half a sentence. I do think that whoever has seen Miss Anville must receive an impression never to be forgotten. This compliment from Lord Orville so surprised me that I could not speak, hey, don't be grumpy, but felt myself change colour and stood for some moments silent and looking down. However, the instant I recollected my situation, I withdrew my hand and told him that I would see if Mrs. Mervyn was not dressed. He did not oppose me, so away I went. I met them all on the stairs and returned with them to breakfast. I have since been extremely angry. What? Oh, dear. He's so noisy. You're so distracting. Yes, you can have a drink. Here you go. Oh, you just want ice? Here. Ice. Here you go. I have since been extremely angry with myself for neglecting so excellent an opportunity of apologizing for my behavior at the ridotto, but to own the truth, that affair never once occurred to me during the short tete-a-tete which we had together. But if ever we would happen to be so situated again, I will certainly mention it, for I am inexpressibly concerned at the thought of his harboring an opinion that I am bold or impertinent. she's just so embarrassed about, sorry, she's so embarrassed about using his name, telling Clement Willoughby that she was dancing with him, that she was supposed to be dancing with him when he never asked her to dance. She's so embarrassed about that she wishes she could have apologized. And I could almost kill myself for having given him the shadow of a reason for so shocking an idea. But was it not very odd that he should make me such a compliment? I expected it not from him, but gallantry, I believe, is common to all men, whatever other qualities they may have in particular. Our breakfast was the most agreeable meal, if it may be called a meal, that we have had since we came to town. Oh my goodness! He just wants to just kick and push the stool with his feet. You're a pumpkin. You're a pumpkin. You're a handful. Yeah, you're a sneaker. But gallantry, I believe, is common to all men, whatever other qualities they may have in particular. Our breakfast was the most agreeable meal, if it may be called a meal, that we have had since we came to town. Indeed, but for Madame Duval, I should like London extremely. The conversation of Lord Orville is really delightful. His manners are so elegant, so gentle, so unassuming, that they at once engage, esteem, and diffuse complacence. Far from being indolently satisfied with his own accomplishments, as I have already observed many men here are, though without any pretensions to his merit, he is most assiduously attentive to please and to serve all who are in his company, and though his success is invariable, he never manifests the smallest degree of consciousness. So he always makes everybody feel so comfortable and pleasant, but yet he never acts like he's aware that he's so nice and that people like him so much. I could wish that you, my dearest sir, knew Lord Orville, because I am sure you would love him, and I have felt that wish for no other person I have met. Hi, thanks. You just want to turn the lights off and on, huh? I have felt that wish for no other person I have seen since I came to London. I sometimes imagine that, when his youth is flown, his vivacity abated, and his life is devoted to retirement, he will perhaps resemble him whom I most love and honor. Oh, thanks for the hugs. Thanks for the hugs. His present sweetness, politeness, and diffidence seem to promise in future the same benevolence, dignity, and goodness. But I must not expatiate upon this subject. That's so sweet. So she's saying, he's the only person I've met that I wish that you knew, that you could meet. And I imagine that, when he's old like you, he'll be like you. Oh, wow. So many kisses. Thank you. So that's the greatest compliment, because she loves Mr. Villers. Like, he's everything to her. And so she's saying Lord Orville's the only person she's met that reminds her of him. What? Oh, you want to be the most distracting you can be. You need all the attention all the time. Yeah. Do you need more ice? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Here's you some ice. Oh, you love the ice, don't you? When Lord Orville was gone, and he made but a very short visit, I was preparing most reluctantly to wait upon Madame Duval, but Mrs. Mervyn proposed to the captain that she should be invited to dinner in Queen Anne Street, and he readily consented, for he said he wished to ask after her lion's negligee. The invitation is accepted, and we expect her every moment. Oh, no. Whoa. Oh, let's not dump the ice water down Mother's neck. I totally slammed the book shut and lost my place. Oh, you're such a helper. Oh, my goodness. What am I going to do with you, monkey? What am I going to do with you? Made me lose my place. You did. Made me lose my place. Oh. Back. Okay, here we are. But to me it is very strange that a woman who is the uncontrolled mistress of her time, fortune, and action should choose to expose herself voluntarily to the rudeness of a man who is openly determined to make her his sport. But she has very few acquaintance, and I fancy scarce knows how to employ herself. How great is my obligation to Mrs. Mervyn for bestowing her time in a manner so disagreeable to herself, merely to promote my happiness. Every dispute in which her understanding husband engages is productive of pain and uneasiness to herself. Of this I am so sensible that I even besought her not to send to Madame Duval, but she declared she could not bear to have me pass all my time while in town with her only. Indeed, she could not be more kind to me, were she your daughter. Letter 19, Evelina in continuation. Saturday morning, April 16th. So all these letters, one after another, is Evelina to Mr. Villers. Madame Duval was accompanied by Monsieur Dubois. I am surprised that she should choose to introduce him where he is so unwelcome, and indeed it is strange that they should be so constantly together. Though I believe I should not have taken notice of it, but the Captain Mervyn is perpetually rallying me upon my grandmamma's beau. They were both received by Mrs. Mervyn with her usual good breeding, but the captain, most provokingly, attacked her immediately, saying, "Now, madam, you that have lived abroad, please tell me this here. Which did you like best? The warm room at Ranelagh, or the cold bath you went into afterwards? Though I assure you, you look so well that I should advise you to take another dip." "Ma foi, sir," cried she, "nobody asked for your advice, so you may as well keep it to yourself. Besides, it is no such great joke to be splashed and to catch cold and spoil all one's things, whatever you may think of it." "Splashed, quotha! Why, I thought you were soused all over. Come, come, don't mince the matter, never spoil a good story. You know you hadn't a dry thread about you. 'Fore George, I shall never think on it without hallowing. Such a poor, forlorn, draggle-tailed gentlewoman, and poor Monsieur French here, like a drowned rat by your side. He's so rude. Caden, what the heck? Is that a Sharpie? He is writing on the walls. Caden, so will you get that from him? Where did he get that? Oh, he is such a handful. I'm telling you. No, Caden. You can take the washable markers, not the Sharpies.
Here.
There you go. Thank you, sis. He's writing on the walls with the Sharpie. And he's walking along, like all the way down.
Washable.
Well, the worst pickle we was in, so much the worser in you not to help us, for you knowed where we were fast enough, because while I laid in the mud, I'm pretty sure I heard you snigger. So it's like enough you jostled us down yourself, for Monsieur Dubois says that he is sure he had a great jolt given him, or he shouldn't have fell. The captain laughed so immoderately that he really gave me also a suspicion that he was not entirely innocent of the charge. However, he disclaimed it very peremptorily. He probably did shove him over into the mud. He's so rude.
Hey.
"Why then," continued she, "if you didn't do that, why didn't you come to help us?" "Who, I? What, do you suppose I had forgot I was an Englishman, a filthy, beastly Englishman?" "Very well, sir, very well, but I was a fool to expect any better, for it's all of a piece with the rest. You know you wanted to fling me out of the coach window the very first time ever I see you, but I'll never go to Ranelagh with you no more, that I'm resolved, for I dare say, if the horses hadn't run over me as I laid in that nastiness, you'd never have stirred a step to save me." Lord, no, to be sure, ma'am, not for the world. I know your opinion of our nation too well to affront you by supposing a Frenchman would want my assistance to protect you. Did you think that Monsieur here and I had changed characters, and that he should pop you into the mud, and I help you out of it? Ha ha! Oh, very well, sir. Laugh on. It's like your manners, however. If poor Monsieur Dubois hadn't met with that unlucky accident himself, I shouldn't have wanted nobody's help. Oh, I promise you, madame, you'd never have had mine. I knew my distance better, and as to your being a little ducked or so, why, to be sure, Monsieur and you settled that between yourselves. So it was no business of mine. What then? I suppose you want to make me believe as Monsieur Dubois served me that trick o' purpose. A purpose? Aye, certainly. Who ever doubted that? Do you think a Frenchman ever made a blunder? If he had been that clumsy-footed English fellow, indeed, it might have been accidental. But what the devil signifies all your hopping and capering with your dancing masters if you can't balance yourselves upright? In the midst of this dialogue, Sir Clement Willoughby made his appearance. He affects to enter the house with the freedom of an old acquaintance, and this very easiness, which to me is astonishing, is what most particularly recommends him to the captain. Indeed, he seems very successfully to study all the humours of that gentleman. After having heartily welcomed him, "You are just come in time, my boy," said he, "to settle a little matter of a dispute between this here gentlewoman and I. Do you know, she has been trying to persuade me that she did not above half like the ducking Monsieur gave her to the other night." "I should have hoped," said Sir Clement, with the utmost gravity, "that the friendship subsisting between the lady and gentleman would have guarded them against any actions professedly disagreeable to each other, but probably they might not have discussed the matter previously, in which case the gentleman, I must own, seems to have been guilty of inattention, since, in my humble opinion, it was his business first to have inquired whether the lady preferred soft or hard ground before he dropped her." "Oh, very fine, gentlemen, very fine," cried Madame Duval. "You may try to set us together by the ears as much as you will, but I'm not such an ignorant person as to be made a fool of so easily, so you needn't talk no more about it, for I sees into your designs." Monsieur Dubois, who was just able to discover the subject upon which the conversation turned, made his defense, in French, with great solemnity. He hoped, he said, that the company would at least acknowledge he did not come from a nation of brutes, and consequently that to wilfully offend any lady was to him utterly impossible, but that, on the contrary, in endeavouring, as was his duty, to save and guard her, he had himself suffered in a manner which he would forbear to relate, but which he greatly apprehended he should feel the ill effects of for many months, and then, with a countenance exceedingly lengthened, he added, that he hoped it would not be attributed to him as national prejudice, when he owned that he must, to the best of his memory, aver that his unfortunate fall was owing to a sudden but violent push, which he was shocked to say some malevolent person with a design to his injury must certainly have given him, but whether with a view to mortify him by making him let the lady fall, or whether merely to spoil his clothes, he could not pretend to determine. This disputation was at last concluded by Mrs. Mervyn's proposing that we should all go to Cox's Museum. Nobody objected, and carriages were immediately ordered. In our way downstairs, Madame Duval, in a very passionate manner, said, "Ma foi, if I wouldn't have given 50 guineas only to know who gave us that shove." This museum is very astonishing and very superb, yet it afforded me but little pleasure, for it is a mere show, though a wonderful one. Sir Clement Willoughby, in our walk round the room, asked me what my opinion was of this brilliant spectacle. "It is very fine and very ingenious," answered I. "Hey, oh. Here you go, you little ice eater. Yeah. You love the ice. You're so cute, little stinker. I love you." If I'm ever distracted for a few minutes, he just goes around and makes messes everywhere. I love you. Was I talking about you, huh? Was I talking about you? Oh, you want the rest of the ice? Mwah. I like you. Goodness. Goodness. Here. Okay, down you go. Going to play? Mwah. I love you. Bye-bye, little pumpkin. He still runs like he's drunk. It's funny. Sir Clement Willoughby, in our walk around the room, asked me what my opinion was of this brilliant spectacle. "It is very fine and very ingenious," answered I, "and yet I don't know how it is, but I seem to miss something." "Excellently answered," cried he. "You have exactly defined my own feelings, though in a manner I should never have arrived at. But I was certain your taste was too well formed to be pleased at the expense of your understanding." "Pardi," cried Madame Duval, "I hope you two is difficult enough. I'm sure if you don't like this, you like nothing, for it's the grandest, prettiest, finest sight that ever I see in England." "What?" cried the captain with a sneer. "I suppose this may be in your French taste? It's like enough, for it's all kickshaw work. But prithee, my friend," turning to the person who explained the devices, "will you tell me the use of all this? For I'm not enough of a conjurer to find it out." "Use indeed," repeated Madame Duval disdainfully. "If everything's to be useful—" "Why, sir, as to that, sir," said our conductor, "the ingenuity of the mechanism, the beauty of the workmanship, the undoubtedly, sir, any person of taste may easily discern the utility of such extraordinary performances." "Why then, sir," answered the captain, "your person of taste must be either a coxcomb or a Frenchman, though for the matter of that, 'tis the same thing." Just then our attention was attracted by a pineapple which, suddenly opening, discovered a nest of birds, who immediately began to sing. "Well," cried Madame Duval, "this is prettier than all the rest. I declare, in all my travels I never see nothing eleganter." "Harkee, friend," said the captain, "hast never another pineapple?" "Oh, you're gonna—" "Sir, because if thou hast, prithee give it us without the birds, for d'ye see, I'm no Frenchman, and I should relish something more substantial." The entertainment concluded with a concert of mechanical music. I cannot explain how it was produced, but the effect was pleasing. Madame Duval was in ecstasies, and the captain flung himself into so many ridiculous distortions by way of mimicking her, that he engaged the attention of all the company, and in the midst of the performance of the coronation anthem, while Madame Duval was affecting to beat time and uttering many expressions of delight, he called suddenly for salts, which a lady, apprehending some distress, politely handed to him, and which, instantly applying to the nostrils of poor Madame Duval, she involuntarily snuffed up such a quantity that the pain and surprise made her scream aloud. That is so rude. You know, they used those a lot back in the day, especially because the ladies wore really tight corsets, and so lots of times they were faint, and they had a lot of fainting spells because they were squished so hard they couldn't breathe. And so they had salts, smelling salts, so they were really powerful. They had salts with oils and stuff in them that smelled really strong, and they'd pass them under their nose to like wake them up and bring them out of it. Like, peppermint or something. It probably wasn't peppermint, but they were really strong, so you didn't want to like breathe a lot of it in. So she's in the middle of being thrilled with the music, and he passes some salts under her nose, and she breathes so much in that she's probably crying, I'm guessing, and it's very painful if you breathe a lot of it in, coughing and gagging and crying and your eyes watering and your nose running. That's so rude. He is mean to her. When she recovered, she reproached him with her usual vehemence, but he protested he had taken that measure out of pure friendship, as he concluded from her raptures that she was going into hysterics. This excuse by no means appeased her, and they had a violent quarrel. But the only effect her anger had on the captain was to increase his diversion. Indeed, he laughs and talks so terribly loud in public that he frequently makes us ashamed of belonging to him. Madame Duval, notwithstanding his wrath, made no scruple of returning to dine in Queen Anne Street. Mrs. Mervyn had secured places for the play at Drury Lane Theatre, and though ever uneasy in her company, she very politely invited Madame Duval to be of our party. However, she had a bad cold and chose to nurse it. I was sorry for her indisposition, but I knew not how to be sorry she did not accompany us, for she is, I must not say what, but very unlike other people. So she won't criticize her, which is sweet. It's her grandmother, so. Okay, well, that was 2 chapters, and we'll catch tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better, looking better, and a little perkier, and a little less bleh. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. We love to see you. Don't forget to give us a like, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully tomorrow. Good night. You want to come say good night? Say good night. Bye-bye. Say bye. Say bye. 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 I love you. Bye. No? You're not going to wave? All right. We'll just go then. What are you doing? Oh, you're such a pumpkin. He's such a helper. I'm telling you. He is a helper. Mwah! Now I gotta go clean the walls. Wash the Sharpie. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.